Helen Graham, a Maryknoll sister who came to the Philippines in 1967. And ever since then, I've been teaching here in the Philippines. In the beginning, I was teaching in Dulawan, Cotabato, which was an interesting missionary experience for me, a different culture. And then I moved to IFRS and Maryknoll College for about 10 years. I began teaching in Maryknoll College in 1968 and also at Sister Formation Institute in 1968. I spent about 10 years at Maryknoll College, and I taught scripture in first year to young women. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it. I had to leave Maryknoll College because of my work with political prisoners and task force detainees of the Philippines. At IFRS became eventually, SFI eventually became IFRS, and I've been there ever since. I teach Torah, I teach Psalms, prophets. I've taught practically every book of the Bible, but I prefer teaching the Torah and the Psalms. And it does something for the students. It's not intellectual information as much as spiritual growth and development. I see them grow over the time that I teach them, which is in some cases 2 years, as I get them from one class to another. So for me, that has been very rewarding, very fulfilling, and I get requests from them from other countries and even from the seminarians. Can you give me such and such? Can you get this, and can you advise me about this or that? And these are already guys ordained now and writing back to me and asking for help. So teaching scripture can be boring, and that's why they stopped it at the college after I left, but it doesn't have to be. I find it very exciting. I find it very rewarding, because the stories, especially in the book of Genesis, are marvelous, and they're all stories that deal with human life. I mean, the book of Genesis is about a family, dysfunctional family, and that's what we all are. We all come from some kind of dysfunction. No one in the Bible is perfect except God, and Jesus. So you're dealing with people that I can identify with, and the students can identify with them. The problems, the difficulties, the infighting among the brothers and the sisters, etc. It's all very much like what we live. So I like teaching that way. I use a method of teaching which I learned from the Jewish people called Havruta. Haver is a Jewish Hebrew word which means friend. So Havruta is two friends studying scripture together. And that's what I use for my students, the Havruta method. And they become friends, because you're one whole semester with one person. I came thinking I had a gift to give. But my experience has been that I have received all the gifts. And I haven't given much, actually. I've received much. I think often of if I had stayed in Brooklyn, New York, what a different life I would have had. This was enriching. I've had most enriching time here, and I've received all the gifts, and I have friends I'd never have if I was in Brooklyn, New York. They're from everywhere, all over the world. My students come from Vietnam, from Myanmar, from Korea, Japan, China, you name it. Even from East Africa, West Africa, even from Brazil. So where would I meet such people? Where would I have such an experience of different languages and different cultures all in one room? It's been a wonderful experience for me, a learning experience, which I'll never forget.